that wall-climbing scum! Death to all Xenos! Now we end this.
Welcome back to GameVault HQ. Today, we're diving into the grimdark future of the Warhammer 40,000 universe with Space Marine 2. After more than a decade since the original, fans have been eagerly awaiting this return to the power armor and bolters of the Emperor's finest. Does this sequel live up to the hype? Let's break it down. Right from the get-go, Space Marine 2 throws you back into the brutal, unrelenting combat that made the original a cult classic. As Captain Titus, now a Primaris Space Marine, you're tasked with battling the Tyranids, a swarm of terrifying alien creatures that are out for nothing less than humanity's complete annihilation. The game perfectly captures the sense of being an unstoppable warrior in the galaxy's most dire battlefields. Whether you're laying waste to hordes of enemies with your bolter or ripping through them with a chainsword, every moment is designed to make you feel like the ultimate weapon of the Emperor. The real heart of Space Marine 2 lies in its combat. It's fast-paced, relentless, and incredibly satisfying. The blend of ranged shooting and melee combat feels even smoother than in the original, and swapping between your bolter and chainsword in the middle of a fight becomes second nature. The new parry and dodge mechanics add a layer of strategy to the melee, and successfully timing these moves opens up devastating counterattacks. This mix keeps combat fresh and engaging throughout the campaign. The game also features a co-op mode, allowing you to team up with friends and take on the Tyranid hordes together. While playing solo is still an option, Space Marine 2 shines in co-op, with teamwork and coordination becoming crucial when you're overwhelmed by enemies. The PvE operations mode cleverly ties into the campaign, offering additional content that expands on key moments from the story, adding some replayability to the game. Visually, Space Marine 2 is stunning. The environments are dark, detailed, and filled with the gothic architecture that Warhammer 40k fans love. Every level oozes the atmosphere of a war-torn universe. The enemies, especially the Tyranids, are brought to life with grotesque detail, and fighting through them feels visceral and brutal. The soundtrack, while not reaching the epic heights of other games in the franchise, complements the gameplay well. The sound design of the weapons, particularly the bolter and chainsword, is satisfying, but could be a bit more impactful. It's solid overall, but leaves room for improvement in certain areas. While the combat is a massive win, the story of Space Marine 2 is where things start to fall flat. The game picks up after the events of the first Space Marine, with Captain Titus now facing a new threat in the Tyranid invasion. However, the plot doesn't dive deep into any compelling narrative threads. Instead, it leans heavily on the standard fight the bad guys formula, with very little character development or twists to keep you engaged. Titus, voiced by Clive Standen, is serviceable, but lacks the charm or complexity that fans might have hoped for. He's essentially the stoic warrior, and while this fits the Space Marine mold, it would have been nice to see a bit more personality or moral conflict shine through. The main villain and overall plot are also underdeveloped, with the climax feeling rushed and not as impactful as the build-up suggests. You get the sense that there's a deeper story trying to break through, the mooring, but it never quite gets there. That being said, the game doesn't need a groundbreaking story to be fun, but it's certainly an area that could have been much stronger. On a technical level, Space Marine 2 runs smoothly on next-gen consoles and PCs, with no significant performance issues reported. The game does a great job of rendering large-scale battles, with dozens of enemies on screen at once, and the frame rates hold steady, even during the most intense firefights. However, there are some minor bugs and glitches, such as occasional clipping or AI pathfinding issues. These aren't game-breaking, but they can pull you out of the immersion at times. Fortunately, patches and updates are expected to smooth out these rough edges post-launch. After 13 long years, Space Marine 2 delivers on the action-packed, ultra-violent gameplay that fans of the series have been craving. The combat is exhilarating, the co-op mode adds a great multiplayer experience, and the Warhammer 40k atmosphere is perfectly captured. However, the underwhelming story and missed potential in the narrative hold the game back from being a true classic. If you're looking for a game that's all about stomping through hordes of enemies with no-nonsense action, Space Marine 2 will absolutely scratch that itch. But if you were hoping for a deeper, more engaging story to go along with the carnage, you might be left wanting more. At GameVault HQ, we give Warhammer 40,000 Space Marine 2 a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's a fantastic blast of 40K goodness, but with a few missed opportunities that stop it from achieving greatness. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to GameVault HQ for more content on the latest games. See you in the next one.
Hold fast, brothers! Withstand the heat and keep moving!